Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go. Guys, if you're on your weight loss journey right now and you want to be able to, boost your status a little bit. You got friends, you got family, you got co-workers, and they may be on their weight loss journey, but you just want to do it a little bit faster. You want folks to be like, how in the heck are you losing weight as fast as you are? I'm about to share with you how to do that, okay? Because I have so many clients of mine, when they be hitting the gym, and even their family members, they be like, yo, I knew you was going to lose weight, but I didn't think it was going to be coming off like that. I'm about to tell y'all what I be having my members doing. I'm about to give y'all straight game, okay? There's 3 things that you need to focus on. So the first thing is this. Most people think about, when it comes to losing weight, they think about just eating healthy. And so they cut back on eating the junk food. They cut back on drinking alcohol. They cut back on eating fast food. Simple, right? We all know this. We already know you can't be eating junk food and fast food all the time if you want to lose weight. And so, but there are people out here who are eating healthy, but they're still not losing weight. Or it may not be coming off nowhere near as fast as they want it to. And they find themselves getting discouraged, being like, damn, man, like, they lose the motivation. I talk to plenty of people like that. And so one thing that I have my members do is this. They have structure, okay? You have to have structure with how you're eating. Just eating healthy doesn't mean you're eating for weight loss. That just means you're eating to be healthy. But when you eat the right portions, when you eat the right amount of food, I'm telling you guys, this is how you lose weight. Well, he's still in my program actually. Brandon Dix, shout out to Brandon. When he had first reached out to me, he had tried several different weight loss programs and the Weight Watchers, the keto diets, the detox diets, all these things. And it just wasn't working for him. Nothing was sticking. And so when he came to me, I was like, listen, we have to build a healthy relationship with food. It can't be a hack. It can't be a quick fix. If you want to drop weight quickly and sustainably, meaning being able to keep that weight off, you need structure in a way that supports you. And so here's what this looks like. I talk to a lot of folks, they be like, they don't eat breakfast. And some days they will eat breakfast, or some days they just snack all day. And then sometimes they just eat 1 meal a day. That's inconsistency with the structure. Therefore, you're going to see inconsistency with your weight. If you ever find yourself frustrated with the weight going up and down, like Brandon used to, here's what you have to do. You have to develop an eating habit, an eating routine that you can consistently do. Okay? And so, for example, let's say breakfast, lunch, and dinner, every single meal you have protein. Okay? For all my guys, you need to be eating anywhere between 6 to 8 ounces of protein, just based on how much you weigh. Okay, I can't give you a specific amount because I don't know exactly where you are, but I'm just giving y'all, just the general approach of things based on what I understand over the past 15 years of just coaching people. My ladies, you need to be eating anywhere between 3 to maybe even up to 5 ounces of protein each meal. Okay, once you start understanding, let me make protein a priority in breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? It makes it so much easier to drop body fat. That's the first part. The second part. A lot of trainers out there, they try to demonize eating carbs. Guys, there's nothing wrong with eating carbs. But if you want to lose weight, there's certain carbs that you need to eat more of, certain carbs you need to eat less of, okay? Let me give you some examples. Starchy carbs. Starchy carbs are things like oatmeal, rice, potatoes, bread, bagels. It does not mean that these foods are bad. However, they have a lot of calories and they add up really, really fast. And so it makes it really hard for the average person to drop weight eating these types of foods if they're eating it throughout the entire day, because most folks ain't even tracking it. And so one thing that I have a lot of my members do, depending on how much they weigh, only 1 to 2 meals a day, they have starchy carbs. 1 to 2 meals a day, and some of them I don't have them eating any starchy carbs. All right, this is where coaching comes in at, because everyone's situation is a little bit different now. And so instead of eating starchy carbs every single meal, that is going to allow us to lower our overall calorie intake, because we're not eating as much starchy carbs. Instead, we replace it with eating more fibrous carbs. I'm talking about things like fruits that have seeds in them, vegetables, green vegetables. Guys, if you start tracking these things in MyFitnessPal, you will start to notice you can eat so much more vegetables and the calories are still really low. You can eat a lot of fruit and the calorie intake is really low. Guys, what do they call fruit? Nature's candy. And so now you still want to have some type of sweetness to your diet. Guys, eat fruit. Some folks be grown as hell out here snacking on Skittles and Starburst, wondering why they have type 2 diabetes. Like, guys, you can't eat like that when you get older. And dare I say, even when you're a kid, your kids shouldn't really even be eating like that neither, because nowadays we're starting to see a lot of kids dealing with obesity, childhood obesity, because the parents don't understand how to eat, and so the kids following in the same path as the parents. That's no good, okay? And so when you follow this structure of, this is what I do. My breakfast, the carbs that I eat is fruit. All right. Then for lunch and dinner, the carbs that I eat are vegetables with my protein. All right. So breakfast, protein, and fruit. For lunch and dinner, you have protein and vegetables. Okay. And then let's say for dinner, you want to eat a little bit of a heavier meal like I do. You do a protein, a vegetable, and a starchy carb. If you're a really heavy person, I'm talking about you 300 plus, it's totally fine for you to have, let's say, some starchy carbs with your lunch and your dinner, depending on how aggressively you want to drop weight, okay? This is what I talk about when I say structure. Most folks, they don't even have any clue about that kind of stuff. But when you start eating in this way, it makes it so much easier to drop weight really, really quickly without doing a fad diet that you cannot sustain. Like a keto diet. Most people can't sustain it, even though you can lose weight doing it. A carnivore diet. Most people can do it and lose weight, but they can't sustain it. Who the hell want to lose weight but then gain all the weight back? And all your friends and family members seen you lose weight and gain all of that big old ass stomach back. No good. Okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing, most folks try to just do all cardio to lose weight. They'll just eat healthy and do cardio. And you can get to a certain point of maybe dropping a little bit of weight. But imagine eating the right way with that structure that I just share with you. Plus, you're doing cardio, not so much for weight loss, but, just energy management, your stress. But then you also throw in some weightlifting 3-4 days a week. Not even 7 days a week, y'all, just 3-4 days a week. Which one of those people, the person who's just doing the cardio and eating healthy, or the person who has that structure and they're doing cardio plus they're lifting weights, which one of those people do you feel like are going to get faster results? The person who's lifting plus doing the cardio and eating the right way. You see what I'm saying? Like, it don't take a rocket scientist to know these things, guys. Like, this is how my client Brandon, who I was just talking about earlier, he's gone from struggling with his weight for years. I had the interview on my YouTube channel. You can go on my YouTube channel right now and you'll find his name, Brandon Dixon. He ended up dropping 20-something pounds his first, I believe it was like first 3 months or something like that, and now he's down over 60. This dude's down over 60 pounds. It ain't even been a whole year. And he's down over 60. Some people have been struggling to drop 20 or 30 pounds for years. Not just a couple of months, years. And for some folks, it's getting worse. And so wouldn't you like to be able to drop weight and be able to keep the weight off to where it never comes back? You never have to worry about your clothes not fitting. You never have to worry about health issues like type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. You see what I'm saying? You got to start lifting weights. And the reason I say lifting weights is very helpful is because it increases your metabolism. It increases your metabolism, guys. It's not just doing cardio that's going to help you drop weight. When you build more muscle, that's how you start to speed up your fat burn. That's how you look good in your clothes and when you take your clothes off. Because let's be real here. Why are we wanting to lose this weight? Yeah, we want to be healthy, but we want to look good in our clothes and when we take them off. If you're tired of feeling self-conscious when you're around friends and family or work colleagues. You're tired of feeling judged because you're overweight. People, you feel like, oh man, I know they're looking at my big ass. Oh man, my clothes always sweating because I got these fat rolls on top of rolls. You don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. So you got to start lifting weights to tighten and tone. So that means you got to take your ass to the gym. You can't just be doing at-home workouts with them little bitty ass 5-10 pound weights. That ain't gonna cut it. So the last thing is this. You have to have structure with all of it. All of it. The nutrition, the training, and just your day-to-day lifestyle. You have to have structure. Okay? And so what does that look like? So some people, they go to the gym some weeks, 3-4 days a week. Then some weeks they go 1 day. Then other weeks they go 5. Guys, you go drive yourself crazy doing that. You're going to drive yourself crazy. And so what I recommend for a lot of my coaching clients, because a lot of them are busy, they do have demanding lifestyles and careers, they have family. You got to start to live your life like you are a business owner, like you're the CEO of your life, okay? Which means you have to have a calendar, like Google Calendar, where you plug in what time are you hitting the gym, okay? What days are you hitting the gym? Are you working out 3 days a week or 4 days a week? Are you working out in the morning, afternoon, and evening? Which days out the week are you going to work out? When you have these things in your calendar, they become what I call non-negotiables. Because if you're the person who's going 1 week 2 times, and the next week 3 times, and the next week 1 time, this is the person who gets very slow results. Versus the person who is like executing. They're doing 3 days a week consistently. Or they're doing 4 days a week consistently. Of course they're going to get faster results, y'all. Of course. Because consistency is critical to become successful at anything. Not just fitness and weight loss, anything. If your ass ain't consistent, you go find yourself struggling. Okay? And so you have to have a routine that you can consistently do. Not Joe Blow at the gym who work out 7 days a week, 2 times a day. Maybe you don't have that kind of time. And so you got to have a plan that fits you. 3 days a week, 4 days a week, whatever that is. Also, you have to have structure with your eating, like I talked about earlier. You got to breakfast, lunch, dinner, and maybe 1 or 2 snacks throughout the day. It can't just be snacking all day. The people who snack all day, those be the folks that be fat. They be overweight, wondering why they still overweight. I don't even eat that much. I just be snacking all day. Well, you snacking your way fat, man. You're eating too much. Even though it's finger food that you're eating, them calories add up. And so you have to develop more structure of what you're doing. That way you can lose the weight. All right? And so follow what I shared with you earlier about, my guys, 6 to 8 ounces of protein each meal. My ladies, 3 to 5 ounces of protein each meal. And obviously it's going to be based on, how heavy you are and how active you are, things like that. And if you feel like you need more of a structured plan that's tailored to you, that's where you reach out for coaching, okay? But when you have this type of structure, guys, I'm telling you, this is how you lose weight so fast. Folks be wondering. They be like, how is this even possible? I got a coaching client named Ann. She dropped over 100 pounds, and it's been like a year, maybe a year and a half or something like that. She done dropped like 104 plus pounds. Imagine somebody seeing you after a year, not even a year, and you done dropped 50, 70, 100 plus pounds. Guys, that's life-changing weight. Life-changing. How would your life be different? What type of clothes would you wear? What type of trips and vacations would you go on? You know what I'm saying? Some folks would even start more businesses. How much more time would you be able to enjoy with your family versus just kind of like existing because you really don't have the energy? Like, this weight is, when a lot of people have so much weight, man, it really causes your quality of life to start lowering, because you can't do things that you truly want to be able to do at a high level. You might be able to get them done, but you can't do it at a high level the way you really could. And so it's very important that you start doing these things, the nutrition side of things, the training, as well as having structure with how you're approaching it. And once you do this, I'm telling you, you'll be able to drop that weight so quick, folks gonna be asking you what your secrets are, man. All right, because it's happening all day, every day in my coaching program with my clients. All right, we out of here. Let's get it. Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable, and if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.